So, now that we've talked about the field trip, everyone look up here again. Look up here again. A few of you still haven't turned in your jack-o'-lantern projects. I know who you are. I'm going to give you a reminder in a little bit. But this, not Thursday, I'm sorry. I'm still on the old schedule. Wednesday and Friday, everyone, including advanced students, are going to the Makerspace. We are the first group to get in the Makerspace. Why? Because I'm awesome. That's why. And you actually have to clean off the support material from the prints. Some of you have thinner prints than others, so it might be a challenge. Some of you have to cut, and we're gonna have to sand off the little bumps and take care of that. We're gonna buff it up a little bit, then we spray paint it, then you hand paint it. Then that'll hopefully take us through Wednesday, and then on Friday we'll play with the diffuse materials, put the light in, and be done and happy and take pictures and woo. I'm going to hold on to them and grade them. You get them back Halloween. So the day of Halloween, you get your little jack-o'-lantern nightlight. And then you'll have it forever. And then 30 years from now, you'll be like, oh my God, that teacher was so awesome. He made this thing. We did this cool thing. Look at that. You'll have it forever. Forever. Okay. Huh? It's in the STEAM building underneath the physics room. Yeah. All right. If your Luigi's not up, bring your Luigi up. If you have done nothing, if you have been gone a couple of days, certain people I'm talking to, I'm not going to name names. If you have been gone a few days, if you've been lost a few days, guess what? All you need to do for today is you need to have the 3x4x3 cube, or the 4x3x3 cube. So, if you are still really lost or really behind, today all we're doing is the head. So if you don't have fingers, right? If you got lost when we did fingers, that's okay. If you were lost when we did the leg or the feet, that's okay. We are only doing the head there. And if you're completely lost, you can make a new one under here where you go create, polygon primitives, cube options, and you're going to make a cube with the divisions of 4x3 by 3, and you can still follow along. And I know I'm going relatively fast. That's because I want to just kind of, Luigi's meant to kind of just teach you the basics of making a character through one piece, and then you're going to make your own character where I'm going to give you a lot of independent time and kind of not walk you through, but kind of guide you through how to do that. All right. So either you have a box that's 4x3x3. The 4 side is Luigi's face side, and the side is over here. All right. Here's how we are going to do this. Everyone looking? Everyone look. Don't just start working yet. Everyone look. Here's our strategy. Our strategy is the following. We are going to, I'll use Mario's head for the example, right? We are going to take the cube and make it match his head, not including his hat. No hat. So we're going to shape the head so that it matches, shape the block so that it matches the side profile of his head. Then we're going to shape the head, the block so that it matches the side profile here. And then we're going to round it out a little bit. Then we're going to make the hat through about 5 or 6 extrusions. Then we're going to make an eye socket, a mouth socket. We might not get there today. And then we'll do the nose and the ears tomorrow as well. Okay? And then we're done. And then we have a Waluigi. All right. So, I shouldn't have brought it up. Huh? All right. So, everyone got their head open? All right. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to deal with edges. We're going to deal with edge pairs. So we're going to shape along the side first. So I'm going to go right click. I'm going to go to edge. And I'm going to start with, let's start with this back corner. 1, 2. So I'm grabbing 2 edges at a time. And I know they're hard to see on my screen, but I'm dealing with these 2 edges. The corner. The 2 edges right here. Is everyone seeing this? The 2 edges right here. Oh, I can do this. Boo, 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 boo. So I'm selecting this edge and that edge, those two edges. Okay? Then I hit move, and I'm going to bring it down and over here, and my head is too big, so I'm going to have to deal with these edges next. So I'm going to need to make, because I want to bring this down to where the hat meets the skull, but it starts going inside out and tricky. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to come back to that corner. So I'm going to grab the one right below it. These two. So grabbing those two edges. And I'm going to bring these way down. I'm just getting them out of the way right now so that I can move this corner so that that corner can match this spot right here. So I'm bringing them way, 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 way down. Right about there. Okay. Back to that top corner. I want that top corner to match where the hat meets the hair. Right? I'm going to take that top corner. Right about there. And you can use your 4-view, or you can use X-ray. Some of you are using X-ray. I'm not using X-ray for two reasons. One, I like to use my hotkeys. And then two, X-ray on my screen doesn't look as good as X-ray on your screen. So X-ray on your screen, go ahead and use it. It's a little more clear as to what to do. So that's that corner. So the top corner of the box is where the hat meets the hair. Let's do the bottom corner next. So we'll skip the two in the middle for right now. The bottom corner, so it's this back bottom area. You guys see where I am? Right, 1, 2. That back bottom is going to be over here. See how it's got to get tucked way in. Right about there. Don't worry about those curls. We're going to do something about those later. Lastly, we got way more to go. Before we do anything else, if your neck wound up like mine, where I had to like kind of push it back, I'm going to make it look so, because that doesn't happen here. I kind of warned you when we were extruding, that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to grab these two. I don't know how to describe these two. These are where the neck meets the head, and these need to get pushed back. Right about there. So that they're in line with his neck. And we got two more edge pairs we haven't messed with. They're extra chatty downstairs. So we have two more edge pairs, this edge pair and this edge pair. And I want you to look at something on his hair. He's got these, I don't know what you're going to call them, these tufts or these little things, these little bumps of hair. That's actually going to be what we're going to extrude out. So it would be really convenient if one of those edges was right here and one of those edges was right here where the hair meets the skin. So I'm going to take this bottom edge pair and pull the bottom edge pair, this one right here. So we have the top corner, that's this one, that we move first. We have the bottom corner that we move second, and you should have two lines in the middle. Two sets of edges. So I'm going to grab the bottom of those two, and I move that one down about where the skin meets the hair. Something like that. I'm ignoring these little tufts. Let's just call them tufts of hair, because I'm going to extrude them later. And that's probably the hardest part when you're modeling your own character, having to know what's going to get modeled right now and what's going to get extruded later. And that just comes with practice and experience, right? So I'm telling you this now, but when you get to your own character, you're going to have to make these decisions on your own. You're going to have to be like, okay, wait, do I shape this right now, or do I need to extrude it right now, right? And I always like to have the crude version of it first, and then we talk about extruding. So I'm going to go up here. This next edge pair, so we have the top corner, the one right below it. That's going to be wherever you think that extrusion is going to occur, and I think there's kind of like a little slant right here. So that's what I'm going to grab. Right about, I'll line it up about like that. If you're thinking this looks funky, don't worry. We've only done one side of Luigi. We've only done the back of his head. We still got to do the top and the front and the right over here. So we've moved 4 edges. All the edges have been along the back of the cube, like the equivalent of these edges, the equivalent of these horizontal edges on the back. So we move the top corner, then we move the bottom corner, then we move the 2 sides. What we're going to do now is the top edge pairs. So just like before, we're grabbing edge pairs. Why should you like that? So we're going to the top of his head. So that was the corner. I got 3 edge sets to move. I'm going to start with the corner again. I like kind of getting the corners in place, and then it helps me make decisions about these guys. These guys. So I got this the top front corner, and that's going to be where the bill of the hat meets the forehead. All right. I'm going to pull that down. That's at 4. Oop, there. Ooh, it was right there. Love that. Did you guys see that? I did that without even trying. I knew it. I instinctively knew it. That's amazing. I think I had it lined up before. So that corner, those 2 edges on that front corner, those get lined up where the hat, the brim meets the forehead, if you will. Next, it would be really convenient to have an edge right here for the bill. So the next edge pair, I'm gonna line up to right here to that corner. And then the last edge pair, I'm gonna kind of line up somewhere in the middle. Just somewhere in the middle, maybe back here. Because this face right here, this one, that face right there, that's gonna become the ear extrusion, just so you guys know. You can kind of see how that lines up. So now I'm going to grab edges, this edge and this edge. I'm going to plop it down. Right, the bill kind of makes a dramatic turn right about there. I'm just going to kind of line it up. Something like that. And then lastly, this top one, the last one I haven't touched, this last edge pair, if you will. I'll move that down. I'll find a good spot for it. Now that's kind of coming in conflict with this set of faces. So we might move that right now. We might take a break from our edge pairs and get that situated. Yeah. So now the head looks like that. Kurt, does this bring back memories? Are you looking fondly on it? Oh my God. This is amazing. Do you remember your Mario? Do you wish you did Luigi? No. You like him. All right. So edge pairs, edge pairs. Let's take a break from edge pair and go to face mode. Just because it was kind of interfering with this spot up here. Take this center square on the side of his face, and that's going to line up. We're going to make it a little smaller. So scale. Make it a little skinnier. And I know it's really hard to see, and I'm actually going to make it a smaller this way too. I'm going to line it up to where the front of the ear, even smaller. The front of the ear meets the skull. So you do it by face mode, but just I think I can show it better in the. It's really tough, I know. Right there, and it's a tiny, tiny rectangle. That doesn't look like an ear. Don't worry, the ear is an extrusion. How are we supposed to know that? You're not. I am to guide you. So once again, that center face looks like that. Okay. If you want to go back and need to kind of change that edge pair again, which I might do, this little edge pair here. There you go. I got a lot more room. There you go. There you go. Nice. So now it doesn't overlap, fold, crease, etc. It's looking more and more like Luigi. Okay, here's the tricky part. Luigi's got no chin. He does have we're going to give him a little bit of a chin. Okay, so we've done the back, we've done the top, now we're going to do the front, and pretty much the front kind of takes care of the bottom as well. We might need to do a little something with this down here. Let's do the front now. So we have that top corner, that's okay. This next set of edge pairs, this one, that's actually going to be where the eye and the nose meet. So this one and this one. So I'm doing the front now. I'm going to pull that down. It looks like I need to pull it in a little bit. Something like that. And then the next one is going to be where the nose and the mouth meet. Now, you can say, aw, we're not going to extrude the mustache. Are you sad and disappointed? We're going to paint the mustache on. This model, Luigi definitely does have a mustache extruded, but that's just one extra step that we don't need to kind of learn right now. You could, if you had your own character with a mustache, you could do it. It's just, for the sake of this exercise, we are not going to do the mustache. And we will paint the mustache. He'll still have a mustache, but we're going to paint it on. So you can either approximate it or include the mustache in part of the model, but I'm going to kind of include it here. So he's going to look a little weird when we're modeling him because it looks weird to see him without a mustache. But we're not going to model him with a mustache. We'll paint him in. We're going to ignore his mouth. What? So yeah, this next set of edges is going to be where the nose and his upper lip meet. It's hard to tell because he has a mustache. Because if you pull out too forward, that might look really weird. So I'm going to kind of approximate that it's right about there. He also has modeled eyebrows. We're going to paint eyebrows. And then last is his bottom corner. This bottom corner here is, you get a guess. It gets really pixely when you get in that close, right? we're going to guess that his chin is somewhere right about there. Yeah? Who knew he had no chin? So I'm just going to take this chin, W, pull down. Oh, don't need to go much further. Pull in. That looks pretty good. Something like that. If you want, you don't have to. If you want, you could adjust his neck a little bit. Like this neck piece here, I'm going to kind of pull down. And then this neck pair. You don't have to do this part. So I want to go crazy. There we go. Now it's looking nice. So what we've basically just done is we've just traced the outline of his head. Knowing that his nose is an extrusion, knowing that his hair is an extrusion, knowing that his hat is an extrusion. So we did all that for the side of the face. What haven't we done? What haven't we done, class? That's a question for you guys. The front side. That's what it was. You guys didn't realize it was a question. You thought it was being rhetorical. All right. So now the front gets a little trickier. Because the front, we can only see the front. We can't see the back. But we definitely have to move the back too, right? So now let's go to the front here. You'll notice that looks nothing like Luigi's head. I thought we were making progress. The side was looking great, Mr. G. You suck. Thanks, class. Thanks. We just got to do one piece at a time. We're breaking it all down. So now what we're actually going to have to do is we're probably going to have to pay attention to the front and to the back, and we're going to deal with vertexes, and we're going to deal with camera-based selection. Actually, we might have to be a little more picky about that. Never mind, camera-based selection isn't going to work. We're going to have to be cognizant of what we want to select. Mr. G didn't have caffeine today. I'm trying to cut back. All right. So instead of grabbing an edge pair, everyone look up here. Grab 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 edges along the top of his head. We can't do camera-based selection trick because they're all on a slant now. Thanks for doing the side view first. And so now I got to make his forehead taller. Why couldn't we see that on the side view? Well, actually at the side view, we're actually lined up. That corner is actually pretty lined up, right? So what we got to do now is just pull this up higher to get that here, like so. So what I did was I selected those top 4 edges on the inside track and pulled them up. And here's the tricky thing I always debate on how to teach you this every time. Is a head square? Does your head have corners? Class, does your head have corners? It kind of does in the back, maybe. It's like a rounded square. So especially the front of the face, we're going to have to deal with the slope of it turning. We have a side view and we have a front view, but we don't have like that 45-degree view to kind of see how it's getting rounded. And that gets a little tricky. Okay, so bear with me. It gets a little tough for a second. All right. Let's see. The next thing we want to do is we want to get this corner lined up to right here, right? That's what we were doing. So again, I'm going to go by edges. So this time I'm going to grab, I could grab these. I'm actually going to grab the corner. So this corner, this corner, this corner. 3 edges. Ba-ba-bam. 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 And I'm going to line those up with that corner right here. It does look weird. We're going to fix it in a second. We're going to have to pull out the rest as well. right? Okay. Don't worry, we'll be fixing it all. Huh? You don't know about that? You don't have faith? Next, so we take that corner, we taper it out. It starts to look a little weird. Don't worry. Next, we're going to take these 3 lines, the next 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're just going to kind of pull those over and down a little bit just to kind of even out the curve, just to kind of get the spacing just right. Something like that. What would really be helpful right now is a top-down view of LUIGI, but we don't have it. So we're just going to go with this. Okay. Notice what I did on the side view. Do you guys remember my strategy with the side view? What did I always attack first? Did I attack something along the flat plane first? Did I attack one of these ones first? Yes or no? I always aimed for the corners first. Just like when you're building a puzzle, aim for those corners first, right? So my next set is going to be the chin. The chin is going to be nice and problematic, right? Because he's got a really, really teeny chin. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to make sure, I want to try and move all of them at the same time. And that's going to be a little tricky. Actually, I take it back. I'm going to deal with this corner first. Still a corner. So I take it back. Apologies. So I'm going to grab 3 edges along the side corner. 1, 2, 3. And then I'll deal with this edge right here. And I'm going to tuck those in. Some of you are like, gee, you're really messing this up. I might need to take this last guy as well. This 4th one. No, I don't. I'll just fix that in a second. I'm going to get those in to where I see, whoa, I'm going to have to get those way in. Oh, that's fine. I'll get those in like that. And pull them up a little bit too. There we go. Get those lined up. I moved them up a little bit. And what I got to do now is I got to shrink this. I got to shrink these just a little bit. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab his chin. I'm going to shrink his chin way down. R. Pull it in over here. Like that. Did you guys miss what I did? I'm going to do it again. I only grabbed one edge this time. This edge right here. I'm going to hit R. I'm going to scale it in. Hit W. I pull it in about there. I'm not worried about this piece yet. That piece is bugging me, but don't worry, I'm going to fix it. I'm only focused in on the front side right now. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm worried about both. But right now, I just want to get that chin in place. You'll also notice I've barely been touching vertices, right? I've been dealing only with edges. That's because I'm about to break that. I'm about to pull this edge up, right? Actually, no. I will pull that vertex up a little bit, but I'm going to deal with these edges in a second. Yeah. All right. Let's deal with that back corner that's sticking out. Let's deal with that. So that last little piece, this vertex we'll deal with first. Let's grab this vertex, and we're going to tuck it in. There, now it's looking more LUIGI-esque. I could also think to kind of give it space, kind of even them out a little bit. And then this back corner up here, I'm going to tuck in as well. I'm actually going to pull it forward to kind of give it that rounder edge, right? Because our head is not necessarily. Oh, there we go. My bad. Pull it into it. I'm going to leave that there. I grabbed the wrong one. Yeah, pull it in a little bit. There. Okay. This is why I regret not doing Mario right now. Luigi's a little tougher. Y'all still with me? Yes, Mr. G. Totally. All right. I've dealt with the chin. The chin's actually looking kind of how I want it to look right now from the front view. It's got a little bit of a mess on the back. So I'm just going to start dealing with this on a case-by-case basis. Yeah. Let's get... Actually, I think I'm good for right now. Am I good for right now? Let me see that hat. See the top. Yeah. All right. So the other thing I want to deal with a little bit more real quick is the front of his head should be curved as well, right? Judging by the way I'm looking at the front view, judging by the way the side view, he's got a much rounded corner than we're giving him up here. This is a very steep corner on his front, so we want to soften that edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab those edges again. 1, 2, 3. I think that's all I'm going to need. I'm going to pull them back. And that starts to round out. Yeah. Just a little bit in and a little bit back. And that gives me that corner. Yes. Okay. And now my last move is I need to kind of deal with this back area a little bit more. So I'm going to grab that face that I had for his ear and pull that out. So if anything as a guide on here? Oh, I do. So that center face that we shrunk to be the ear spot, I can pull it out. And I might actually give it a little bit of a rotation. E. Actually rotate that face. I'm dealing with that center face, sorry. That center face right there. That's for his ear. I pulled it out to kind of match the location of where that ear is meeting the skull. Something like that. And that took care of a lot of that. Oh, yeah. Now we're doing good. I was a little scared for a second. If I'm being honest. I was like, oh no, we screwed up. We didn't screw up. I lost faith in myself. It was Daniel's fault. Daniel questioned me, and then that was it. And then I lost faith in myself. But I got it back. All right. Before the bell rings, last thing. These two edges. Just need to shrink them in a little bit. R. Move it over. That's it. Yeah, I think we're good. Looks a little freaky. It's like Slender Luigi. Slender Man Luigi. Doesn't look a little like Slender Man? So what we're going to do tomorrow is you'll be surprised how quick it goes. I know we spent the whole period just sculpting the head, but now that we have the sculpting in place, we've also lined up where his nose is going to come out where his eyes are going to come out, where his mouth is going to come out, and where his ear is going to come out, and his hat. So tomorrow it's all extrusion. So we spent a lot of time lining this up, and I don't know if you remember the TIE Fighter project. We spent a lot of time lining things up, and then it was like, boom, we had a wing, and boom, we had a cockpit, and it was there. So tomorrow it's going to his face is truly going to transform. It's going to get eyes, nose, and a mouth, and you'll be amazed how good it looks. But the first thing we'll be doing is a hat. Okay? So class, let's save. Let's call it save as. Let's do a save as, and let's call it head sculpted. It's not done. Head sculpted. And then we'll do the hat, then the eyes, then the mouth, then the nose, then the ears. We will probably not be done by the time we get to the Makerspace tomorrow. So that's actually kind of good. That means we kind of come back after the Makerspace, refresh, and then deal with our character, which is good. That's a good thing. All right. We should definitely be done with Luigi by the day before Halloween. Halloween's Eve. I know Halloween is an Eve, and then you're going to be making your own characters. So start thinking about what bipedal. Bipedal means 2 feet. Shh, gentlemen. Think about what character you want to make. A bipedal character, 2 feet, that you're going to build. All right.